We have with us Polly Billington, Carl Cashman, Robert Hayward and Henry Hill. Zachary in Crystal Palace says, with the Your Party conference descending into total farce, is this the end of Corbyn as a major political force? Carl?
I don't know whether he's...
Gosh, I should just explain this for a moment, because there will be people who haven't followed this conference. The new party's delegates voted to install a 16-strong Central Executive Committee, commonly known as a Politburo, rather than make co-founder Jeremy Corbyn and Zarah Sultana battle for the sole leadership, after Sultana boycotted the opening day of the conference over some delegates being prevented from accessing the hall because they were also members of the Trotskyite Socialist Workers Party. Sorry, Carl, I interrupted you.
I think Polly smiles a little bit too big on this one, isn't it? And I think it's probably proven, what the Labour Party have done over the course of the last 5 years is expel some of these people. And I've always found in any friends that I have that are on the far left, they couldn't organise a you-know-what and a you-know-what.
They couldn't run a bath, Carl.
That's the one. That's the one I was thinking of.
Okay, miss.
I think watching that, I just had to sit back and laugh, to be honest. And it's a real shame, because progressive politics needs a little bit of rocket fuel at the moment. I don't think that's the avenue to do it. I also don't think the Green Party is the avenue to do it. I think, solid liberal principles.
Which party would you?
I would probably say the Liberal Democrats.
Polly.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, Carl's right. My smile is big. Couldn't happen.
So it's the Liberal Democrats.
It couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of people. They're just absolute clowns.
That's the only insight you can give.
What about what happened over the weekend in Liverpool? It's absolutely. I mean, look, these people. What do you want me to say? They're clearly completely ludicrous. They are not going to be able to organise their way into anything. They have expended an enormous amount of political energy fighting amongst themselves. They don't know how to run a bath.
To be serious, though, they had, I think, a real opportunity to fracture do to Labour what Reform have done to the Conservatives, and they've completely
messed it up.
Yes.
Yes, they have.
Yeah. And you're quite happy.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
Henry.
Well, I mean, there's a reason that Nigel Farage historically runs his parties as Tsar and autocrat of all the Russias, right? And it's because it actually allows you to get things done at that very small level. So two things have happened here. One, they have a group leadership, and that is always just a mistake. I think that if you look at Zach Polanski and the Greens, a lot of the assessment of how he's performing, you need to control for the fact that for the first time, the Greens have decided to have one leader, which means you just know who to go to and who to ask on to, whatever it is, and that legibility really helps. But two, and I suppose this is a lesson that the far left of the Labour Party just loves relearning, is that they've tried to take the leadership of the party away from the members of Parliament. And the legislators who are going to have to represent it. And that's not going to work. And we already saw interviews afterwards when one of the MPs was like, well, if the 16-person executive committee votes for a ban on landlords, I'm a landlord and I'm obviously not going to vote for that. And it's like, well, this is why he probably should be involved in the production of policy. On whether or not there was that big opening, it's hard to sort of criticise them for this, given that Reform and UKIP both represented vastly inchoate sort of coalitions of people. But there is a real schism in if you think about the MPs, because you've got 4 MPs who are elected on essentially the question of Gaza, and they're localists, and they don't have necessarily particularly progressive views on social policy or even on areas of economic policy, but they are aligned with the left on areas of foreign policy. And then you have Jeremy Corbyn, and then you have Zarah Sultana. So there wasn't a coherent position.
Robert.
The shame is that Jeremy Corbyn is probably now going out of British politics. He has achieved an enormous amount in his time. Whether you agreed with him or not is another matter. But the sheer scale of the Labour vote when he was leading it at a general election, absolutely phenomenal. But I will disagree strongly with Polly, because as far as I'm concerned, all the problems of the Your Party organisation achieves is a further boost for the Greens, and Labour are going to face a really big problem in many of the big cities as a result of a strengthened Green Party.
The thing is, if you ban strikes and just say you're always going to have the same kind of pay rise, you don't give either the employees or the employers the flexibility to be able to negotiate not just on budget but also on performance, on demand and supply and so forth. But I disagree with Henry on the idea of having those kind of regional pay settlements.
I didn't say regional.
But you did.
No, institution. Okay. That's a very different thing to regional pay.
Well,
sorry,
yes, but quite often it ends up being regional because NHS trusts, for example, cover a particular region.
Well, but not a region in the way that you've got the North East and all the rest of it. A men and a multi-academy trust will have about 5 schools in it, so they are quite different proposals.
Well, yeah, but Harris Academy has got many more schools than that in it, and that
nationwide. But that's not regional pay.
Well,
so I just want to be clear that I'm not proposing regional
pay. What
I'm
saying is, I would be reluctant to see a situation where schools already have quite enough to do in terms of managing their budgets to then be negotiating with industrial reaction.
A corner shop or a business with 3 people employs its own staff. It's not an unusual thing for anyone to have to do.
Yes, I know, but I would say that particularly because we want to be able to maintain national standards on all kinds of things, I would particularly want to be able to see that we.
But I mean, the great thing is we won't have to worry about this anymore when your party come to power because they want to nationalise the entire private sector.
What are you talking about? What are you talking
your party
about?
Jeremy Corbyn, not your party. Jeremy Corbyn.
You definitely did that on purpose then.
You've been really waiting for that. You know, we were talking with a couple of I was talking with a couple of colleagues this evening. We decided that maybe they were going to get the Turner Prize for performance art, their work this weekend, because it was just, I was just watching with delight.
Apparently Corey says we might be coming to this later. So,
right, okay.
I think a comedy award might be more appropriate, but anyway.